If we think about the existence of God, and we think about creation, and we think about a being that has to be eternal, there having to be an eternal being, it gets us to start considering how we look at that being. If we look at that being as simply being a God who created and now sits back and has nothing to do with the universe, or a being who actually has something invested in having created man. Does he have something that he created man for? Is there purpose in life? And does man have a purpose? That is what the Christian faith is about. The Christian faith is not only believing that there is a creator, and that creator created us because there's no other way for humanity or mankind to be here, but also that he created humanity with a purpose. And that's what we talk about when we talk about design in the world. We say that there's a purpose. There's a reason why the world is where it is in the universe. There's a reason why our world has the ability to have water for us to drink and air for us to breathe, and it's not too hot and it's not too cold. It's actually just right for mankind. There are certain design features that seem to yell out that God is screaming to us, I'm here, and I'm not silent. I've shown myself in the trees and in the fish and in the forests and in the whole world. It just seems like God is hollering out for us to hear him. In fact, if you've taken just the logical processes that we've talked about today, the idea that we believe that there is an eternal being, that being must exist because if there was ever a time when there was nothing, there would still be nothing today, and that there is an actual eternal being in the world, that should be the easiest thing to conceive. In fact, that simple process of logic that we talked about earlier, that simple process of understanding that we exist, and because we exist, something has always existed, and that something must be intelligent, that something must have been able to produce a world and all that is in it, has actually opened many people's eyes in the scientific community, though I will admit it's not a popular view. There are many scientists who are beginning to recognize that there is great design shown in the world. In fact, I want to read to you. In early December of 2004, the world-renowned atheist, author Dr. Anthony Flew, at age 81, astounded other atheists with his candid admission. Flew, who is an emeritus professor of philosophy at Britain's Reading University, has said that the scientific evidence available to us today is overwhelmingly in favor of the existence of a creator God. Flew, who was raised Methodist, became an atheist at age 15, has been an influential champion of atheism for more than 50 years. He has argued repeatedly that there was not enough evidence to support the notion of a creator. But Flew changed his mind and now believes in God based on the scientific evidence. Flew stated that his whole life has been guided by the principle of follow the evidence wherever it leads. By this, he has come to the conclusion from biologists' investigation of DNA, the almost unbelievable complexity of the arrangements which are needed to produce life, that intelligence must have been involved. Flew went on to say that it now seems to me that the findings of more than 50 years of DNA research have provided materials for a new and enormously powerful argument for design. And that's a quote by Anthony Flew. And that's something important for us to consider, because so many people say intelligent design isn't science. Intelligent design isn't science because it's looking for a creator in the universe. It's looking for an intelligent designer. But I want to make this argument for those who say intelligent design isn't science. Is crime scene investigation science? Well, all of us would say that it is. A person who goes and investigates a crime scene is a scientist. But what are they doing? They're trying to determine design. They're trying to determine how whatever it is that happened has happened. Did this person commit suicide or were they murdered? Well, they look for design. They look for intelligence. They look for something there to see. Was this done by one person or was this done by two persons? Was this person all by himself, or was there another person in the room with him? That's a search for design, and ultimately a search for intelligence. We look at someone who searches for intelligence in the universe, and many people laugh at them because they say they're unscientific. But it's not unscientific to look at the world, look at the way it's been created, look at all of the things in the world, and say, you know what? This says so obviously that there had to be an intelligence that created this. It did not just happen by chance.